Lauren, we're at the halfway stage of the season now for Bristol City women. Your side currently sit on 17 points, 5th in the congested championship table. How do you reflect on the first half of the season?
Well, it started quite of a roller coaster, I'd say. So looking back at it, and that first game against Crystal Palace, where we were in a bit of a situation at half time, it felt like that carried on a little bit in the following games. You know, we went behind, but then came out with a win, or you know, we had a few situations a bit like that. So that's how it felt. But I think inevitably it was a new group, and that was going to happen. Whether we, you know, bounced back, didn't bounce back, there was going to be moments where we've done well or actually underperformed. So I think that's how I felt it started. But then we hit a bit of a rhythm, and the group started gelling on the pitch in particular, with the ball and our press as well, and they just grew in confidence. So from that point, you know, it's looked really, really good, I think, and it's been very enjoyable. But I'm sure there'll be more roller coaster parts to come.
And you've touched on it there. It was a very new group at the start of the season. When you first came in as head coach, only a couple of players, skeleton staff, but it seems as though you've brought together a group of not just great professionals and coaches, but also great people, and that's made for better performances on the pitch.
Yeah, and that's what we were always after, really. So once, you know, when the conversation happened that we only had, you know, 2 signed players at the start, I think it was, that was actually really exciting. And I thought, well, you don't often get to build a team from the start. And it was always for me about being good footballers, but being good people. And that's why we spoke, you know, I spoke to all the players before we signed them, and they all had to have the same, you know, an ambition, a drive, and a thirst for doing something this season, which they all have. And actually that's the thing they have in common, so they can always find that with each other, and that drives them on, you know, in training, in games. That's actually that they all find that bit and push forward. So it's been like that with the players, but also the staff have been amazing. You know, we had some staff here that were from previous season, and actually they've been excellent. You know, at welcoming me, welcoming the players, adapting to change, and that's always the hardest thing. But they've actually been really open-minded, and we get each other. Everyone does their jobs well, and yeah, I'm really pleased to be working with them. It's great to come to work and see people with their smiles on their faces.
I suppose that's what it's all about, isn't it? And then looking at that project that you've spoken about, the homegrown talent is a big section of that, and it's been fantastic for you to see so many of the academy players stepping up to the first team level and performing.
Yeah, and that was another reason that was so exciting to take this job, is actually what I believe in is giving players those chances. If they're good enough, they're old enough, and lots of them have proved that so far. And we've, you know, had some debuts at Ashton Gate, yeah, and followed up with performances as well. And I think those young players that have stepped in have really taken it by both hands. But then it also just shows for everybody in the rest of our pathway, you know, from the 10s upwards, what they can achieve if they work hard and they really want it. And that's what we're about here at Bristol. So.
And there you spoke about that game at Ashton Gate. It was a record crowd. That must be a personal highlight for yourself to get a 3-0 victory at Ashton Gate as well.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those moments building up to it that, you know, everyone had focus on it. You know, a lot more people came to it, and a lot more people noticed it, I think. And obviously the build-up was great. But again, it goes back to the group, and that win and that performance, not just the win, I think just shows what they can do, and they can step up to different moments, whether that's in a season or in a game, whether it's coming behind or actually like stepping out onto that pitch with that crowd and that noise and actually performing. And I think that they were brilliant, and absolutely a season highlight, along with beating Reading as well. I think, you know, that last minute winner from Abbey was great. So.
Lauren, looking at our home form as well, it's been fantastic this first half of the season. Only lost 1 game so far here at the Robins High Performance Centre. Looking into the second half of the season, that must be a really pleasing element for you.
Yeah, and that's something that the players really went after. They wanted to be able to perform at home. Probably the best pitch, or definitely the best pitch in the league. So it allows them to play the style of football that we want to play, week in, week out. And they're doing it, and they're gelling, and they're moving the ball quickly. So it's absolutely down to this place and everything that surrounds us that allows us to play that way and be these, you know, professional athletes that they are. So yeah, it's great to have that behind us, and hope we can keep that going for the rest of the season as well.
The level of support we've had as well from the fans has been exceptional.
Yeah, and some of the songs are great, aren't they? They do crack me up sometimes. But yeah, we've got a really good fan base. I think everybody does, to be fair, and everyone says it. But you know, the Bristol fans have had a tough time in the past years. So you know, probably even before that, and some of the faces that you see now are here week in, week out. I've been here for years, and it's great to see them enjoying themselves and getting to see some goals as well. So yeah, they're excellent, and I'm sure we'll get more of them out in the rest of the season, hopefully.
Yeah, and those fans are enjoying the unbeaten run at the moment. Seven games, I think, since last lost, and it must be really exciting for you as a group, because you're just kind of beginning to tap into the potential. You only had them together for a few months.
Yeah, it's been coming, I think. We were always after, you could see that we had quality in the team and different strengths and lots of different ways of playing, and you know, our midfield in particular give us so much variety in the type of balls they can play. So seeing that come together now and actually unlock defences in the way that we're doing, and we're scoring lots of different types of goals, is really, really great to see. And I just credit to the players, really, because they give everything, and they, you know, I hope and I think they definitely enjoy it, and hopefully there's going to be more of that. But it always feels a bit like the breaks come in really tense moments. So when we've had an international break after like the first win away from home or whatever it was, or after we, you know, the Reading game, then we have to stop for 2 weeks or whatever it is. It feels a bit the same with Christmas. So we'll have to see what it brings, but I just can't wait to get back to it now. It's been too long.
And like you said, coming back in off the Christmas break, it's not just the league competition you've got to look forward to. Fourth round of the FA Cup away against Southampton, also quarter-finals of the Continental Cup. So there's some really exciting opportunities for your young group.
Yeah, it's going to come thick and fast, I think. So we're waiting for a game at the moment, and then we'll have 4 by the end of the month. So yeah, big games. We obviously want to show our quality and do that against WSL teams. So whether it's Leicester or Man City or whoever it might be in that group, I think, you know, that's going to be a big game for us to put on a performance and test ourselves. And then the FA Cup game, obviously, you know, we're playing at St Mary's. That's going to be another big occasion to go and play a team that are you know, doing very well in their respective league and wanting to be in this league as well. So both ends of the spectrum, we're going to have to put a performance on and prove our worth, if you like. So we're looking forward to those games. They're going to be really key. And obviously the league games, just to try and see where we're at and keep building towards the top end of the table, really.
You touched on it there, your eagerness to get back is very evident to see. In terms of this second half of the season, in the league especially, what are your kind of aims and objectives for the group?
I think we'll take it one game at a time, as we do with everything, but I think everyone here, the team, the staff, everything, will want to better whatever we've done in the first half. So if, you know, take Durham, for example, we've got a bit of a point to prove there when we go away, which will be tough because it's away and they're a very good side. So there's going to be different things for every game to make sure that we do better than the first time around. But bigger than that for us, it's just about maintaining our performance, because that's what's got us to this point. It's not going to be looking at, you know, how to, you know, winning games and making sure we have to do that. If we maintain what we've been doing on the pitch and off the pitch and our attitudes, then we'll get what we deserve, and that's what we mainly talk about anyway, and hopefully that will show in the second half of the season.